Good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. We're almost to Friday, almost done with the week. Hope you have been having a good time so far and hope that you have a great day today. Let's see, where are we? We last time implemented a ceiling, floor, hopper, bin, trapdoor, I don't know what we want to call it. But basically we implemented this line at the top. Our balls spawn up above the screen, they fall down, they hit this, I can hit space, that line disappears, and then they're all gonna fall off. So this is how we're gonna collect all of the choices before eventually we drop them off. So what I wanted to do next is maybe start setting up a bunch of nails in here, just sort of like to see how they interact with them, because that's really gonna I think that's gonna help us determine how what it actually feels like and whether or not we're going to switch over to a completely different design, or if we're gonna stay with this one. So for config, do I care about this? Maybe I do. I'm trying to think here. We want to hit the nail, like how many nails we want, like maybe X across and then X down. How many in a rows and then how many rows? So we could do like nails in row. Maybe we can do something like, I don't know, 10 to begin with. And we can have rows of nails. And maybe we can say something like 5. So nails in row, rows of nails. No, you're not that. I think these can be like U8s essentially. We're not gonna have that many of them. Okay, so once we have this, then we can what? Zilby, what's wrong? Hey Zilby, wanna come over here? No? Yeah? My wife went into the storage closet down here this morning, and now he really wants to go inside, which is not a good place for him. We have all sorts of non-cat safe stuff in there, so we don't let him in there. But that doesn't mean he doesn't want to go in there really, 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 really badly. Okay, so we now have nails in rows of nails. So we can create our grid of like these objects. So if I want for like the physics thing, we want to create a nail maybe. So this would be like an insert nail. Okay, so we definitely want a position vector 2. We're probably going to want to, inside of our config, also store the radius. So like nail radius. Let's have this be just something decently small. Maybe we could just start with 1. So we'll have that radius. I don't think this needs the restitution, so we're just going to return a U128. for that ID. I don't actually know if we're going to use it or not. ID is equal to then last used becomes equal to the ID. Then down here, we're going to return that ID. Okay, so that should make you happier. All right, let's see. Then we're going to create the actual body. So that's going to be this nail. This is going to be a new static. It's not going to be affected by gravity. Position. So this is going to be an isometry to new. We're going to give it that position and no angle. I don't know if we need anything else here. Probably just the user data with the ID. Then we're going to build it. Then we're going to just stuff this into all the bodies so that it's just our handle. All right, then we can build our collider. So I think this is also going to be a ball here. It's not a 3D ball. We just have, this is the 2D library. So a ball is really just a circle. And we have the radius. So I think with that, then we just give it the user data, which is the ID, and we build you. Then we can take the collider. Okay, so what are you upset about? Oh, right. I think this has to be 2N algebra. Yeah, that's it. Okay, then we're going to insert the collider. And that's it. So that's going to give us our nails. So if in our main library, so in setup, we can now do create nails. Don't know if we're going to need to return anything. So basically just like that. And then in setup, we'll just start using this right away. And we have the config already in self, so we don't need to pass that in or anything else. We already have that. So what we're going to want to do, we know what the width is of this entire thing. We know what the width, we know the height, so we can calculate how many across and just go from there. Okay, that seems to make sense. So space between, that's what I'm going to need. So let space between X maybe. We're going to take our entire width. So that's going to be the self.config.width. And we're going to divide the number of nails that we want in here. So that's going to be self.config.nails in row. So that's going to give us the pixels between each of these nails. So then we can loop through. So for We need the count in here. So for count in, so 0 until self.config dot nails in row. We can just do one row right now. We're gonna want to do this. It's gonna be x count, and we're gonna do another one for the down. So actually, let's just add in space between y. So this can be config dot height divided by self rows of nails. So how many of them do we want? And then we actually want to do this opposite, don't we? We want to do the down first. So the y comes first. So that y it's 4. So this is our rows of nails, and then we're immediately going to do an x count. Nails in row. Okay, so now we have how many we have going down, how many we have going right, and we have the space between. So that means it's time for us to create the position, so that our position is going to equal to our vector2 new for the x. Tom Dabrowski, good morning. Hello. How are you doing? Let's see. Position. We have our vector new. Okay, so for the x, how far along we are in the middle across the width, that's going to be our x count times space between. So we're going to take space between x, just F32, going to multiply it by x count as an F32. And then for the y, it's going to be the same thing for the y. We're going to do space between y times y count. That's an F32. So that should give us that. We already have the radius in the config, so I don't need to extract that out. So I think we can really just do self.physics.insert nail, give it that position, self.config.nail radius, and that's it. We can get RID equals to that. We're definitely going to want to store this away. We have cannot divide F32. Right, you need to be as 2 as well. There's no errors, so I wonder if this actually is just going to work. Now we can't see the nails because I haven't like created any textures or anything like that to display them out, but hopefully they should be there, and we'll see if if either of these hit them. And the problem is I have no idea if that is still okay. So, I mean, not the best. Let's see if we can draw these out. So we have this entire draw data here. So we have colors. I guess right now we can make them white. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, so let's insert colors for these. We can make them black, actually, sort of similar to what are we calling them? Like actual nails? I guess nails are more grayish, but I'm not sure. We could actually create. Ooh, we could just create the nail color in here. So let's do something dark, like maybe like 10, 10, 10. So that's nail color. All right, so we should now be able to use that. Let's see. Nothing I need to be worried about. Oh, is Mr. Halsey going live? Okay. I want to do the self dot draw data dot insert a color, give it the ID, and then the color. So that's going to be self dot config dot nail color. There we go. Okay, so that's going to allow us to extract that out again. What else do we care about in here? We have types and rectangles. So we probably have to add the type in too. So in this case, ball floor now nail. Self dot data dot insert type ID and so draw type okay, this is gonna be our nail. Oh, draw type. That's what I want. Data type. Okay, so it's a nail. Okay. Anything else we need to throw in there? Also, what are you upset about? Right, now we're not checking all of these things, so we now need to data type nail and handle that. Well, how would we handle it? So we need to extract the color out. So color self dot data color, pass it the ID, which we get up here. I don't need a rectangle. We have the all the nails have the same radius, so I can just grab that out of the config. So I think we can just do a mesh builder circle. No. Mesh builder dot circle. Mode fill. The point. So it's gonna be position.x, position.y, radius, self.config.radius, tolerance 0.1. We can actually do something fun like 0.5, maybe even like 1.0. Color is gonna be this color. Yeah, actually storing that in doesn't really make that much sense, does it? Because we don't need to do get requests. This could just be self dot config dot nail color. That would work just as well as doing this. So I don't actually need to, up here, insert the color. We do need the insert type, but that's it. Okay, so can we see some nails? I do see the nails. They're extremely small. Extremely small. So yes, they are missing every single one. So let's actually increase the size of these nails here a little bit. So nail radius, let's try a 2. So that'll make it a 4 diameter. And can you see that? Barely, still barely. And are you gonna hit? You do hit. Okay, so now they hit the nails. That one just got lucky to hit the nail. All right, let's put a lot more nails in. So nails in row. What happens if I put like 100 in, and let's do like 75 down? No, that's too many. We want maybe 75 across and 25 down. That's still too many. Maybe want 25 across, 10 down. Epic Blarg, hello. Okay, here we go. This might work a little bit better, except I can still see it falling straight through these. But we probably could fix that by having a offset of every other. You're probably going to want to organize your world scale at some point. Aspect ratio is assuming sizes are in meters. Oh, so yeah, that's something I've never done. That might be interesting, yeah. That might be good to do. I mean, this could be a giant board, and we're doing it on like a world scale. Maybe. Yeah, I need. There's a lot more to rapier that I can learn. Also, hello, Utsby. And I forget if I said, but I think I said, but if I didn't, hello, Epic Blarg. Okay, so creating that, I want to offset these by half in this second row. So how do I do that? If it's an even number here, so if our Y count is even, then I want to like maybe add some, half the space between in each one of these. That's what I want to do. So we can do let offset equals, we can do an if Y count mod 2 is equal to 0. So if we're an even number, I don't think there is like a method is even, right? No. Okay, so if we're that, then I want to return the space between x divided by 2, else turn 0. then this space between X also gets added to this offset. So if we do this, where is that? Space between X divided. You're in F32 and trying to return that. Oh, 0.0. That's why. Okay, now it can't fall straight down anymore. So if we hit this, they're all guaranteed to bounce at least a little bit. And apparently yeet off the side. Okay, that one's going straight down. We can potentially have a few more on the X. Maybe do 35. Maybe get away with that. Oh, I will be right back. All right, let's see. So nails in row. We can also increase the rows of nails by maybe a bit. I think though. So if we do this, yeah, they still can fall through, but they're gonna have even more trouble getting through. Slowing them down quite a bit, which is not terrible. Until they just fall off the edge. So Usbi, do you have any recommendations for where to go learn how to like set up our world scale? Like any tips for that? All right, you made it down there. I kind of want to see what would happen if we had a whole bunch of these. The other thing that I want to do is I want to give our balls an outline, which I think will make it look just a little bit nicer. So here in draw, for ball, we have circle fill, and then at the end of this, dot circle, we can do another circle. Draw mode can be a stroke. The code you've given you previously to separate world and render scales. I keep on forgetting that. Yeah. I believe, yes. Point. So that's gonna be the same thing. Position.x, y. Radius is self.config. Choice radius onto 0.01. Why do you keep on wanting to put in continue there? And color, we'll just make this black. And then I want to come up to our choices. No, I want to come up to choices.json. So here's all of these. I'm gonna take add a new. Not sure how many of these are, but it's a lot. So this should be interesting to sort of see how it works. We don't have any walls on, so I expect a lot of them are just going to be shoved off to the side. But I want to sort of see how bad that problem is. I better let them go, otherwise they're going to shove each other off the side right away. All right, I think I don't think this is too bad. Now, this one started off right away, but look, this one made it first. I thought at first that whatever was like had the early momentum was just gonna win, but no, it actually works out really well. The problem with sticking with your world positions equals pixels approach with physics engines is that they tend to be optimized for normalish size things, and you end up having to give weird gravity values and so on so that movement looks okay. That I have noticed that, yes. Oh, look at those two. They found equilibrium by leaning against each other. They're never gonna they never had a chance. Oh, and these ones got like caught in nails. Oh, is there there's a row of nails up there? Ooh. So we need to make sure we have an offset Y for nails. And I think yeah, I guess I still need to wrap my head around that conversion between world position and pixels and how I would do that. Before, when I did like world positions, it was still based on pixels. So that wasn't really right. And you gave me that code a long time ago, but I don't think I understood. Like, I think I looked through it, but I didn't really get it. Which is all on me. I think I have the problem with that. So, for position wise, so this is gonna be our start. So up here, space between Y is really going to be height minus self.config. For position Y. So the space between that and then we have an offset Y. And that's just going to be the floor position Y. Stuff.config. Floor position Y. So everything is shifted down below that. And then here, I'm going to add in plus offset Y. So if I do that, then the nails on the Y-axis should be a little bit... No, they're gone. They're nowhere to be seen. If I just... They're right there. They're all right there. We have like one row. I mean, this shouldn't make it have only that. Let's see. These should definitely do that multiplication first, and then we offset Y for position. I think you're right, Epic Blarg. I'm gonna actually write that down as a something that I need to like actually look into. Do I have a... I have a page of like USB video notes to take too. All right, so in here, I'm gonna note it down as like a tutorial to make, but I really need to learn it in order to make that tutorial, so that would be perfect. So this is gonna be basically pixel, like world versus pixel coordinates when creating simulations. So, world versus pixel coordinates. Obviously, I still have a lot to learn there, and when in that space, can do another fork PR against this project. Do simple scaling later if that would help. Maybe it might help. Also, I think in this case, I'm having a lot of trouble just sort of like even where to like to start with it. Are there resources that I can learn from, like articles, books, descriptions that are good, so I can wrap my head around the theory first, because like I get the general theory but I don't get the math part of it. I have a trouble imagining it. And then after that, the fork PR might be really good, or I might be able to do it. I don't know. It depends upon my abilities. What am I doing? I am right. I only have one row now. No, my offset Y is really large. That's my problem. My offset Y is absolutely huge. I only want this to happen once. This offset Y. I need it to happen once. So I think I want to change the way we're going to do this is we're just going to have like the Y position down. So maybe we should like set these up, like let essentially mute Y. This is going to be equal to self dot config dot offset. What is it? For position Y. So give that, maybe we even add in the space between. Maybe we double it. It's like this is where we're starting. We can even do this with like let start Y. So we're gonna have a start Y. Then from that start Y, we can calculate the space between. So let's come down here. So space between is really going to be our config.height minus start Y, and then divided that by the number of rows of nails we want. That's going to give us our space between Y. You usually find the general topic of world transformations covered when people describe how game cameras work. I never properly learned how to do game cameras, which is why you've noticed, like, I think I've only done game cameras like once, maybe twice, and that was still done with a, oh, okay. So really this is like a sub thing of game cameras. Interesting. Yeah, I did not. I haven't learned game cameras properly. So, really, this is game cameras. That'll be cool if I do that. That'll be really good learning. That opens up a lot of things. Just like using something like this this physics library opens up a lot of things in the physics side. Having a camera and having a world bigger than just the screen is pretty nice. Dota 2 Attitude, hello, and also ask away. More usually a matrix application, but that's just another level of confusing terminology. Matrix application. So a matrix is has like an X and Y of basically a grid of values, right? It's a multi-dimensional array. I don't know if there's anything else to that would need to basically the different matrix multiplication methods. Let's see. Uh-oh, it didn't like that. Nightbot didn't like that. Hold on, let me find out what happened. Go to you. Oh, is this paste bin that you tried? Yeah, this is fine. Let me load that up over here. All right, got it. Okay, so what is the difference and which is better? Method post. So your body is JSON stringify, variables are, and you have this super awesome. Okay. Option B, method post, header, application JSON, body variables are. Super awesome. Is this is this in JavaScript? Is this like a fetch or something like that? If you're sending JSON, it generally is best practice to send the header application JSON. If you're using pretty much anything that's not fetch, Axios comes to mind, is a popular one that I really like a lot. It will give you the application JSON if you hand it a JSON itself. So in that case, I like sending it as JSON. Now it will behind the scenes get stringified. But because the application JSON is there, your server should also automatically parse it out too. Yeah, and it's a post request, so that will be in the body. Yeah, I would say the second is better. First seems faster. The speed you're gonna be gaining is not much, not enough to undo the goodness you get out of this. Because if you're going over the internet, there's a lot of other things that happen. But yeah, this is what this is what most applications and servers sort of expect you to do. First was twice as fast. Seems a little bit suspicious. I can't imagine it actually being twice as fast for real. But yeah, I would say the second one, this one is best. It's best practice, at least. If you do, so I will say, if you do eventually run into problems where you need absolute essential speed, I would wait until like you run into that problem, which is usually after the application is built, and then you can start doing like these micro optimizations. What if the first is executed in parallel though? Possibly. I know something like Axios will run a JSON stringify. They'll probably also validate this too. But yeah, that's my go-to is option B. All right, so starting at Y, we get our space between. We basically want start position Y plus this, don't we? I don't need this offset Y here. We want this space between Y times the Y count. That's fine. And then this can be plus the start Y, I think. So if I run this, see what it looks like. Oh, there's still... Is there really only one row of them now? I have 15 rows of nails. I have 15 rows of nails and we're running into problems here. You know, sometimes I do wonder, like, should I set up something where I can just like draw out where I want the nails to be? But I don't know if I want that too, or either. Like an editor of some kind. Okay, so if we start Y here, why am I just getting, why is this so bad for me? What am I doing? We have our offset. This is the X. If I just mutate this start Y and like I continuously update this. So if we say like, hey, we're gonna start this here, then here, we're gonna say start Y is your location. So maybe we can even just set this up as Y. Here's your first Y. And then after this, then we're gonna say Y plus equals space between Y. I wonder if this is also like way too large of a number. We have one right there. So that's not the best. Why did I lose all my X's? So we have position. Oh, down here is when we increase the Y. That's what I want to do. Instead of space between Y, let's like just increment by 15. I think space between Y is just an abnormously just huge number, and we don't want it to be that big. I think that's my problem. So space between Y is this config dot height minus Y. No. Y should be the coordinates down. So that shouldn't be a problem. Divided by the rows of nails. Okay, so this should be fine. I want it to be like the space that we have down here. So it's the entire height minus whatever this is, which is that y position. Is it not? So what are you? Debug space between y. $713.33. Okay. Why are you that? Because you're happening first. Order of operations is important here. There we go, 41. That makes a lot more sense. So now plus equals space between y. There we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. So now if I wanted to like do this again, but not have to do this entire fun thing. So we have our y, we have our sort of like the start y here. We have our positions. This is gonna be, I mean, this isn't too bad. Like, I don't mind it. We can even do like the X this way too. I don't know if it would help too much. What would happen if I did X equals, and then we have our start position, right? I guess I don't really need the X. I don't know. Nail right us. Nail right us. All right, here we go. So now if I rerun this again, I think it's gonna look a lot better. Let's just allow it to bounce through. I think this is looking pretty good. It's going to be slightly different every single time, even though our nail position is exactly the same no matter what. Now we could remove one of the bottom lines of this and have like sort of a bin down here to like collect the balls, and then the first one through wins. Maybe the first thing we can do is create a wall on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So, given that, let's create like a wall width. And I think I don't want this to be like very too wide. We can make this like 3. And probably a wall color too. We can make this just pure black for right now. So wall width and wall color. Okay, so creating the wall. What do we want to do? Well, let's say we create the left one first. The left wall, we now have the width of that. We know it's going to be the entire height of the world. Maybe we want to go higher or not. I don't know. We can do the entire height of the world for right now. Or the screen, I guess. So we need a position. Oh, we have a wall, because when we do this one, not remove, insert floor. Yeah, insert wall, position, and then the config wall. Yeah, okay, so perfect. So position, let's position it halfway through, like halfway up and down. So that our position is going to be a vector 2. The X, we're going to go halfway, so half of the width. Stuff dot config dot wall width divided by 2. And then the Y, we want this halfway down. So self dot config dot this is just gonna be height divided by 2. Okay, so that gives us our position. What else do we need? Then the width and the height of the floor, or the wall. Okay, I think we have that. So that ID is going to be self dot physics dot insert wall. Give it the position. Give it self dot wall config dot wall width, and then self dot config dot height. That should work. So that gives us that ID. So I think this gives us the one on the left. I'm curious what would happen if I even like did this. I think, yeah, okay, we can actually see the wall over here on the left. So if I release this, they can't bounce to the left anymore. Which like isn't the best because some of them are getting stuck over there. But I think it's still decently good. Let's say I don't even know if I need to draw the walls. Let's say I actually do the height of this as like double this 2.0. This is gonna be the left ID. Okay, so this is gonna be left position. The first time we went through the whole camera and scaling thing was August of last year with the runner project. All right. That was, and I didn't get too far into that. But I think I still tied everything to pixels. I didn't tie everything to like other units. So I don't think it was correct at all. X, this is going to be self config dot width minus self dot config dot wall width divided by 2, and then self dot config dot height divided by 2. Okay, so give that. We give it the right position. The width, this is going to be self dot config dot width, and then the height, self dot config dot height times 2. So if I just do that, now things can't hit the X and the Y. Yeah, okay, they're not going off anymore. Everything is now stuck inside. And if I wanted to, for our nails, be aware of like the space between, we have width, maybe minus self dot config dot wall width times 2, because they're on both sides. I don't know if that really helps. Oh, no, they almost can fall between on the right-hand side. But yeah, I don't think that's really helpful. I think I'm gonna undo this change. I'm not gonna care about the wall width there. We can potentially change the wall width here to be like, instead of 3, we can make this, 10, whatever feels appropriate. Probably drawing it out would be helpful. If nothing else, then just to sort of like see what we want it to be. Yeah, okay, they can't get stuck there on the left-hand side or the right-hand side anymore, because the wall width is great enough. So that's nice. We have this wall color, so let's go ahead and in draw data, we have the floor, and oh right, because it's the wall, that's why it's not getting drawn out. So we have this data type for wall. So right here, create walls. So we have the left ID, the right ID. You can do self dot draw data, insert type, left ID, and the data type wall. And you're going to be the right ID. Okay, so 2 walls get added in there. And we have the same one color, so we're going to be fine here. Send in draw, add in a wall. So I think we just need to create the rect. We probably should store that in. Yeah. Self dot draw data, insert rectangle, left ID, rect new. Okay, so for this one, for the left wall, it's going to start at 0. It's going to go to self.config.height. So even though the wall physics goes above the screen, I'm not caring about that. Okay, so it goes all the way. Wait, no. Start at 0. Width is going to be self.config.wallWidth, self.config.height. That's what it is. So it's insert that rectangle. So rectangle, right ID. Okay, so now it's going to be self.config.width minus self.config.wallWidth is going to be our X, 0 for the Y, config.wallWidth for our width, self.config.height for our height. Okay. So then down here in our draw, now that I think about it, I don't know if I need a wall here, like this data type. Having a floor, I think. Then we can just store the color in there and it will figure out what that color is. Then we just get the rectangle and build it. Okay, that should be fine. So instead of floor, we're gonna just call this wall. Back here, remove a floor. You're a wall now. So we are gonna insert the rectangles. We're also gonna insert the color. So self dot draw data, insert color, the ID, gonna be the data type. Wait, color, no. Self dot config dot color, and then you're the right ID. Okay, so if I do this, then I think we're just gonna get the walls drawn out. There we go. And they're off to the race. They're off to the races. So this is pretty awesome so far. We can make things worse or better by increasing the density of our nails. So we can like even try 40 and 20, just sort of like see how it looks. I mean, they're still able to go through it, but there's less of that sort of like just, well, no, because that one's just like flying through the level. But yeah, they're definitely not flying through the level quite as much as they were before. This is great. Now, if I wanted to increase the size of this, let's say I didn't want to do 1280 by 720. What if I wanted to do something like maybe 1280 was fine, but I wanted to go like 2000 down? Does this still look okay? I think I need to make it 16 by 9 in order for GGZ to draw. Are those still circles? They feel like they might not be. It's giving me like a weird, it looks weird. but everything else sort of still is the same. I know a lot of games like only give you some choices for the resolutions. That's probably what I would want to do, is just not arbitrarily choose whatever resolution you want, but actually like set that in a config somewhere. Set that in our config, yeah, of like, here, this is the choice that you're doing. Maybe have like a menu system. I need to figure out a good menu system though. That being said, when they fall, when it takes longer for them to fall, that's not bad. What are we streaming on? We're streaming on 1920. What is this? Uh, 1920 by 1080. That feels a lot better. They only showed up between here and here. Am I, for my random start locations? Oh, I have this X max. I don't think I want to do that. I think it'd be better for us to just go between our width and our height. So let's say for X range, I want to make sure they don't spawn inside the walls either. So let's do like the min. Yeah, I don't think we really want this choice start here. I think it'd be better to have this just have this chosen based upon this. So I'm gonna get rid of this choices. Get rid of you. Okay, so for our X, we want to start based upon, let's actually do X, our start X is going to be basically 0 plus the wall width. So self.config.wall width. So once we have the wall width, then I want to also add in the radius times 2 to make sure they don't spawn inside of each other. So config dot choice radius times 2. So that's our start X, and end X should be pretty much the opposite. That's going to be the self.config.width. We're going to subtract self.config. The wall width. We're going to take that entire thing and then also subtract. Nope, don't need to do this yet. Also subtract. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I don't think I need this. Because then we're going to subtract self.config.choice radius times 2. So that happens first, and then the rest of these get subtracted. I think that'll be fine. So it gives us the start X and the end X. So here in our position, we just do start X through end X. Then we want to do the same thing for Y's. That start Y. That's going to be equal to, so way up above, I kind of want to make sure that they have a possibility of not like appearing on top of each other. Even though I think actually they might. I don't know what happens when they do. Let's give them this. Let's make sure that there's enough space for them to sort of like spawn. Hirose is raiding with a party of 36. Welcome, 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 Hirose. How are you doing today? How was your stream? Let's go set up our game that we play when we get raided. Codes, build, workspace, asteroids. All right. Hirose, how was your stream? Did you make it through the gauntlet of advertisements? There should only be one, but it's can't control it. Also, welcome raiders. Almost died on level 1 too. So this is a game that this is an example game that we make on the stream here. No, I'm gonna live. Just by chatting and saying hello, you'll enter into it. So if I just say hello,
reinforcements have arrived.
I'm coming in with a random firing strategy. So I can actually start firing towards the nearest asteroid just by saying anything with the word asteroid.
Target the nearest asteroid.
And then we see how long I can live. But yeah, we do a lot of this this type of interactive gaming / simulation / other things on this channel. Is my... I hope my chat's not broken. Let me refresh that really quickly.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Pretzel Rocks likes me. Although sometimes having extra reinforcements here is not the best strategy, because as you can see, blowing up all these asteroids is not necessarily the best idea in the world. We get lots of them really quickly, and they move faster and faster, so it can get harder to survive. Oh, I'm already down to 2 lives. Okay, last life? Level 6. Our highest level is level 10. All right, so what I'm working on today is a random chooser simulation. Instead of using a random generator, number generator, like everyone else who might, choose something randomly, we're going to use a physics simulation. It's broken right now because we're just sort of starting out where the choices start on the screen, or rather above the screen. So if I were to like just add this in here, so start Y, I want to make this above the screen by the number of choices maybe just the number of choices times their radius. That's what it is. So it's the number of choices times their radius. So if we do self.choices.length as an F32, and then we multiply that times self.config.choice_radius, then we have an end y, which is just 0. Then position, this gets replaced here with a start y through end y. Everything should still work, so I can go ahead and run this now. We are using Rust and GGEZ for this. Panicked cannot sample an empty range. Ooh, right. Because we don't have, the choices haven't loaded yet. When do the choices load? Right here. Load choices right there. Cannot sample an empty range. What did I do wrong? So we have start y to end y. Start y. Oh. You need to be a negative number. No, not that. You need to be a fully negative number. Then that should work. So we have basically this big hopper on the top. We have all of our choices, which comes from a JSON file that we have. Each of the balls represents one of the choices. When I'm ready, I can hit space. And they all start falling through. So not yet created, we're gonna have something on the bottom that they're gonna have to make their way into. That's gonna be the thing that wins the random choice. And then we could do fun things like having the ability for like a poll. I guess not a poll. Polls don't make sense here. But like, I don't know, giveaways, choosing what project to work on. Well, we can use this for all of that. But this is what we're working on. We're using a physics engine called Rapier 2D for this. Still can get some stuck on the left and right. We can increase the size of the walls to help with that, I think. Over here in our config, we can make you, we can increase or decrease. Like what if we go back to like 2 or like even 1 wall width? If we do that, but change the like, the nail radius should be fine. The rows of nails. What if I do like 45? Increase that number. Now, what I haven't done is done anything like making some of the nails like bounce back or hit back or something fun like that. That could be interesting to do. Make it more like a pinball where it hits one of them and it just sort of like shoves it away farther. It is surprising though to me which ones actually make it to the bottom first, because it's not the ones I usually immediately suspect. All right, we're still getting some stuck on the edge. It's not, doesn't look like the worst thing in the world. Maybe it looked better if we like our wall width was like 15. That looks like it's not gonna to get stuck on the edge. they still can get stuck together in some of these nail situations. I think that's fine. We can make it really crazy by increasing the nails in a row significantly. Maybe like make it so only one can even try to pass through at the same time. Then they wouldn't necessarily be able to like sit there together. It also slows them down as they go through. If we do that, then we get the ability to do predictions, which would potentially be nice. But yeah, this is an example of what we do here. Let's see. It is coming close to 8:30, so I think I'm gonna have to end it for the day. We can go find somebody to raid. I think Mr. Halsey is starting the stream. We didn't raid him yesterday, so he's had enough time to sort of like get set up, and get going. I think we can raid him. It is Thursday, so tomorrow I'll be back for more of this, and that will be at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, like normal, and then I also stream on Sunday mornings too. So I'm gonna go ahead and close down the YouTube video here. Still getting stuck on the left. Okay, so maybe